So good morning, all. Hope you all can see my screen, right?
Good morning. Yes.
Yeah. So guys, I'll give you a small introduction about networkings, and then Akash is gonna continue for this particular batch. So you can see this is our official website. We guys are dealing with the different domains: network, cloud, cybersecurity, DevOps, and we have a recording sessions also. Okay, and rest you can see this is our official YouTube channel with the 3.58 lakh subscriber. Okay, so we are almost a 12-year-old organization. We started as a YouTube channel in 2013. Now, from 2017, we start delivering online trainings, and we are delivering a trainings on each platform. Okay, online, or there are some people who's looking for the corporate trainings, the organizations. We are delivering their trainings also. Okay, so if in case I'll talk about this master program which we are starting today. So this is the program, a network engineer master program, okay, which includes CCNA, CCNP, and one firewall. It can be Palo Alto, it can be Fortinet or Checkpoint. It's totally your call, which one you want to choose. Okay, so how we planned this particular sessions for initially for a 2.5 months. Akash is gonna continue for the CCNA part, where you're gonna learn about routing and switching concept, the basic concept, the fundamental you need to strong, and then we need to jump on the advanced level of CCNP, which is advanced routing. I can say like a BGP, MPLS, OSPF. So these routing protocols, and then after the CCNP, we have one more module which is firewall, like how to protect network organization through any of the attacks. Okay, so there are a lot of attacks happening now in these days. So how to protect, how to put the policies on the firewalls, that all we are gonna teach you in this master program. And one good thing, Akash is a Cisco certified instructor. There's very few people in the world who is Cisco certified instructor. So he know in and out about Cisco, how they works, how to handle the queries and all. So this is about networkings and this master program. So I'm stopping my screen sharing. So Akash, over to you. Now you can start. You can share your screen and you'll give an introduction.
Thank you, sir. Guys, let me know if you can see my screen or not. It's visible?
Yes.
Visible.
Okay. Very good morning, everyone. This is Akash. Gaurav sir had already given my introduction. So basically I'm a CCSI, and I have a total of eight years of experience in the domain. I started my career from CCNA. Presently, I hold CCNA as well as CCNP. Very soon I'll be going for CCI too. So very good morning, everyone, once again. And first of all, welcome to this particular training program. I'm genuinely excited to begin this journey with all of you. Over to this particular course of the training, we'll be diving into the fascinating world of networking, starting from the very basic and gradually moving towards advanced concepts that will not only prepare you for CCNA exam, but will also help you to equip with the skills to work in the real-time environments. Before we start, a quick note: this is not going to be a very that boring theory class where I just read the slides. We'll be having some discussions also. I'll ask you questions and I'll encourage you to share your thoughts, because see, networking is a very practical field. So I want you to think like problem solvers from day one only. Our sessions will follow very simple steps. I'll be like explaining some concepts to you. I'll be explaining some concepts to you in detail. We'll be connecting it to the real-time examples, and then we'll see how it works in practice. So let's begin our journey towards becoming network professionals. Networking is the backbone of everything in the IT. So without it, your emails will not reach, your apps might not sync, and even your businesses could not operate globally. The networking fundamentals that we'll learn in this course, such as IP addressing, subnetting, routing switching, network security, are the building blocks of every network, whether it is a small office or a very big global data center. So think of it like learning the alphabets before you write a book, right? So if you understand these fundamentals deeply, you can build and troubleshoot any network, no matter how complex it is. And the best part is that every topic that we learn here will be supported by practical labs, so you can see it working in action also. Let me start with today's agenda. Here's our plan that we are going to follow up for today and the upcoming days. We'll start with the mastering the networking fundamentals. So we'll build a strong foundation by covering IP addressing, subnetting, switching, routing, and some security concepts. We'll be having the hand-on learning. That means that we'll be using a tool which is Cisco's Packet Tracer, and we'll work on real-world scenarios. I believe in learning by doing, so you'll get plenty of lab exercises throughout the sessions. I'll also explain you how CCNA can be your stepping stone to roles like network engineers, security analysts, or even the cloud engineers. Guys, remember one thing. This training is not just about passing the exam or appearing for the interviews. It will make you confident enough to walk into any networking. Yes, please. Sushil, you're saying something?
Yes. So actually, I want to give
Mhm.
something like you can go slowly, and
Mhm.
whatever you are going to teach, just think that we all are beginners. We don't have any idea about IP, subnet,
Yeah,
nothing.
don't worry. So
Okay.
presently, I'm just explaining the introduction. We have not started studying right now. We're just going through understanding what all things we are going to see.
Yes, correct. That understood. I'm just telling from day
Sure.
one so that it will be
No
clear
worries, no worries.
that we should go
Definitely.
slowly because we are not in a
Mhm.
hurry. Better
Okay.
rather than covering 10 topics, better if you are going to cover 5 topics, but if you are going to master in that, then you will get a job.
Sure, sure. So this is just an introduction of
Yeah,
everything.
sure. Yeah.
We'll start studying after, let's say half an hour of this explanation. Then our main course will start. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
sure, sure.
Okay.
Fine.
So who all should enroll for this particular course? See, people who are very beginner to this thing, let's say who want to start a career networking, they can enroll. IT professionals who are looking to upgrade their skills, they can enroll. Students who want to be job ready before graduation, they can enroll for this course. This particular course helps even the desk technicians or the system administrators who want to understand networking deeper. Cybersecurity enthusiasts who need to know the network layer before mastering security, they also can. So, quick questions. How many of you are starting from zero in networking today? Just give me a hand raise. I got two. Okay, great. And how many of you have at least some exposure to IT or networking concepts? Guys, hands down, please. Now, how many of you already have some exposure to IT or some of the networking concepts? How many of you? Mhm. Perfect. Amazing. That's nice. Okay. So why I'm asking this thing because this will help me to adjust the pace also, right? So if we have more beginners, I'll go slower in the fundamentals. But if we have mixed experience levels, I'll balance the both. That's why I asked this question. Amazing, guys. Let's move ahead then. So first of all, let's understand what we are going to deal with. This is Cisco. Cisco is a global leader in networking. All the technologies related to networking, like they have their routers, Cisco have switches, and Cisco also have firewalls which are used everywhere, from a small business to the big telecom companies. So CCNA, the Cisco Certified Network Associate, is their most recognized entry level certification. It's like your first passport into the professional networking world. Why is it important? The reason, because whenever the companies see a CCNA on your resume, they know you understand networking basics and you can work with Cisco equipments. And these equipments are dominating the market presently. So we have structured this particular course into 6 specific modules. Those particular 6 modules, let me just minimize this. Yeah. So the 6 particular modules that we have in this particular course include networking fundamentals. Networking fundamentals include the topics that we will learn here. The topics would be like understanding about OSI model, right? TCP/IP model, what TCP/IP model is going to be, what is IPv4 addressing, what is IPv6 addressing. These are the things that we are going to learn within the networking fundamentals module. The second module that comes here is network access. Network access in my term is switching. So we'll learn about switching here. What do switches do in the environment? What are VLANs? What is trunking? These are things that we are going to learn within the network access. After network access, we have IP connectivity. IP connectivity is the routing part, where you learn about static routing, you learn about dynamic routing. You'll also learn about OSPF, which is one of the key protocol in the dynamic routing, which we'll be specifically focusing upon throughout the course. Then comes IP services. IP services is the part where you'll understand or learn about utilizing the services in the network. It includes topics like network address translation, NAT, how to automatically assign IP addresses to the host devices, which is DHCP. Then we'll learn about domain naming system, which is DNS. Along with that, we'll understand about some network monitoring protocols, which includes SNMP and few more protocols like that. Then we have security fundamentals. Security fundamentals include security aspects like configuring passwords over to your devices so that you cannot no unauthorized access could be there. You will be creating some rules at layer 3 over to the routers, which is called as ACL, and some more security basics. Then finally comes the very newest module, which is automation and programmability. Here, you'll learn about Cisco's DNS Center. What are REST APIs? How the traditional network is different from the controller-based environments. What are controllers in the environment? So basically, in automation programmability, you'll be learning about the entire automated part of the network. You'll see a new technology, which is SDN, software-defined networking. That is also one thing that we'll be looking onto in this particular module. So these are the 6 specific modules that we are going to cover throughout our CCNA. Every particular module will have theory, examples, and lab practices too. So by the time you finish this particular course, you'll be confident enough in both concepts as well as hands-on skills also. So the very first module, which is network fundamentals, we'll start with OSI model, TCP/IP model.
Sorry
Yes,
to
please.
interrupt, Akash. Actually,
Yes,
I
go ahead.
was trying to talk it.
Mhm.
So a few questions I had. One, will we get any kind of document for this, whatever you have taught, or we should take a note of all those things?
Okay, sure.
First question.
I'll tell you.
Uh,
So what we are going to do is, whatever I'm explaining, I'll be doing it over to this whiteboard, right?
okay.
And you guys can have a particular PDF file of this particular thing, and that can be shared every day by the end of the session. So what you guys need to do is, you guys need to have a pen and paper with you, have to pen down some pointers, but rest of the notes that I'll be writing down here, they will be like sent to you. And every day, let's say by the end of every week, I'll also be trying to share the notes that or ebooks that you will be following throughout your studies. So that will also be provided to you.
Okay. Thank you, Akash, for explaining. And second question was that,
Mm.
what is the difference between CCNA and a firewall? Because both the I think things are related to networking only, right?
Right.
Firewall also secures the traffic, and the CCNA also secures the traffic, right? So what is the difference between those two?
Understand. Good question. See, if I talk about CCNA, right? So CCNA is a certification which is offered by Cisco to validate the knowledge between networking concepts, devices. I'll write it down here. So it will be like networking concepts, devices that are utilized in the networking, and the protocols that we use in the networking. So it will be a very basic level of the course. Whereas if I talk about firewall, firewall will be about the software devices or the security hardware and the software devices that will monitor and control your incoming traffic in the network. So once you reach onto the firewall, firewall is considered as an advanced level of the course, where you'll be understanding how to control your network, how to filter your traffic, how to block or allow the traffic within the network with the policies. That is something that you will be learning here. So CCNA will include your CCNA certification, including 200301 subject code. Whereas if I talk about firewall, firewall could be, it would be ASA, it could be FortiGate, it could be Palo Alto, it could be any of the firewall that you'll be studying. So it will be a study of a specific device, whereas here you'll be studying about the common networking fundamentals. That is the difference here.
Okay, Akash. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Amazing.
One more thing,
Yes,
Akash.
please.
What is this 200, 301 exactly?
Okay. So the recent course that we are following, CCNA course, right? This particular course follows a specific subject code. Cisco has, for every particular exam, Cisco has subject codes. So like for CCNA, the subject code is 200301. Later on, you guys will be going for CCNP. So let's say CCNP Encore. So it has a different subject code. The subject code for CCNP and Encore is 350401. You can see it here, right? So for every specific exam in Cisco, we have a specific subject code that we follow. Is this clear? Okay. Okay, let's move ahead and see the rest of the modules here. So after networking fundamentals, we have network access.
Akash, just one request. If when you're explaining, I would request everyone else to mute themselves because I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, guys, can you please mute? Thank you, Bharat.
And probably Akash, you can take the control of as well that muting system, right? So when they want to speak, then probably unmute themselves. Probably you have that option. I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah, let me
Probably you
just
can have
mute
the
everyone.
control of muting.
Okay,
if
so
you
guys,
want.
whenever you want to speak, you can unmute. Presently, I'm just muting everyone. Okay. Now, so guys, this is first module was network fundamentals, right? Where we saw about OSI, TCP, IP, and IPv4. We'll be studying this thing. That today's session will start with networking fundamentals only. Next module will be network access. So if we talk about network access is where we focus on LAN networks using switches. We create VLANs. We talk about trunking. We learn about how large organizations divide their network into smaller VLANs for security and efficiency, and even how trunking allows those particular VLANs to be carried over a single link. Then comes IP connectivity. So this is where routing comes into the play. You connect different networking devices all together. We'll start with static routing for smaller networks, and then we'll move towards dynamic routing like OSPF, which automatically learns and updates the routes. Next module is IP services. Services like NAT, DHCP, and DNS make networking usable for everyday tasks. So without DHCP, if I talk, so without the help of DHCP, it won't be possible to have a IP addressing configured over to the network devices. You'll have to manually configure each and every device in network. Let's say you have 100 devices in your LAN network, and all of them wants the IP addresses. So you'll have to manually go into every individual device and assign an IP. But if we have DHCP, all these 100 devices can automatically get the IP addresses. You don't have to do anything. You just have to configure DHCP configurations over to your network devices. That's the only thing. We'll also look at SNMP, which is the key of network monitoring. Then comes the next module, security fundamentals. So security is no longer optional. It is mandatory now. We'll discuss about access control list, which will filter your network traffic, and concept of layered security to protect network from different types of threats. What is a threat? What is vulnerability? What are the mitigation techniques to it? We'll be learning about all those things here. Finally, automation and programmability. So this is the future of networking. Automating repetitive tasks. We'll explore Cisco's DNS Center, SD Access, SD-WAN, and REST APIs. So here you can see how modern networks are managed more efficiently throughout this particular module. We'll also spend a lot of time in Packet Tracer. Guys, Packet Tracer is specifically a tool. Let me just show you once. This is Cisco's Packet Tracer. This will be a tool where we'll be performing our labs. In this tool, you'll get all the network devices like routers, switches, even hubs are there. So we'll be majorly working over the routers as well as the switches only. These are two things where we'll be majorly working. You can easily drag and drop the devices to your topology, logical topology. You can start working here. If you want to connect these devices, we do have connections here. We can easily connect the devices all together like this. A simple connectivity can be made. If you want to configure the devices, you need to gain the access of the devices. It is pretty easy here to gain the accesses here. We do have directly CLI mode from where we can easily enter the commands onto the devices and we can start working here. You can see it is that easy. So this is what we are going to use in our networking environment. We'll be configuring the things here. We'll be doing every particular lab here. There are some self-paced labs that you guys will be performing at your end. Let's say as your homework, as your practices, you'll be given those labs that you can practice. So every particular lab is topic wise. You can go easily and understand every individual topic as long as you want. I'll be guiding you through those particular simulations, so don't worry. And you'll also work on some self-paced labs that can strengthen your skills. So yes, this will be the place where we're going to spend most of our time. Talking about the very first week of our training session, first week is going to be completely base preparation, where we'll be learning about subnetting, we'll be understanding the IP addressing, we'll be understanding the MAC addresses. So first week is completely theoretical and hands-on notes practices where you'll be doing the calculations. From the second week onwards, our theory classes as well as lab sessions will also start. So from second week onwards, you'll start to see packet tracer in action. So let's talk about exam details also. One quick question for everyone. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Sarbi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I have one question.
Hmm.
What kind of interview questions are asked to become a network engineer?
You'll be getting that also, like once we go through the topics, right? So I'll be asking those such questions to everyone in this session also. What guys can do is you guys can participate in that. You guys can pen down those questions. Also, I do have some recordings also, like audio recordings of the interviews that has been taking place. Some students have already recorded their calls, right? So we can listen to their calls. We can understand exactly how the interview goes. So that also will be given as an insight.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So listening to the interview calls, we'll start that after once we are done with most of the part of the course. Let's say we till, like, I'll just tell you the exact point from where we'll start learning about the interviews. Once we are done with the routings, OSP of topic, right? After that, I'll start helping you guys with the interview recordings. You can listen to those recordings. We'll discuss about their calls, what else could have been answered, how could the person have answered. We'll discuss about those things once we are done with the OSPF in the module. Is it fine?
Sure, Akash.
Okay. So now one more question for everyone. How many of you are looking for the exam also? How many of you are preparing for exam once the training ends? Okay. Amazing. I got 4 hands up. Amazing. So guys, are you aware of the exam pattern? What exactly this exam is like? Has anyone researched about the exam yet? Yes or no?
No.
Not yet, Akash.
Not yet. Okay. So see, this entire CCNA exam, if I talk about, let's jump onto this syllabus PDF. As you can see, this entire exam is at 2 hours of the exam, right? 2 hours long this exam would be. Talking about the exam price, exam is of $300. So $300 would be converted to INR, and GST would also be added as we work from India, right? So we'll have to pay, I guess, 14% of GST also. That would be a total of $354 for the exam. So once you go for this exam, it includes multiple question formats. There would be MCQ questions. There would be drag and drop questions. Drag and drop is just like the match the columns that we have done in school, right? So there would be some option given to you here, and multiple different options will be there. Definitions would be there. So you'll have to drag and drop the correct word to the correct definition. That is how drag and drop works. Along with drag and drop, you'll be having simulations also. What is simulation questions? So simulation is one such type of a question where a scenario would be given in form of a topology, where the network devices would be connected like this, right? A topology will be given to you. On the basis of that topology, a specific scenario-based question will be there, and then you'll be having 4 different options to choose the correct out of them. This is called as the simulation question. So you'll be having simulation questions, you'll be having MCQ questions, as well as you'll be having the drag and drop also. And yes, from last 2 years, Cisco also started giving the lab exams. So in particular exam scenarios, you'll be getting 3 specific labs also. So yes, you'll have to take care of configurations. You'll have to take care of the commands. You'll have to remember some basic commands that we tend to use every day in our lab sessions. So lab would also be there in your exam from now. Now, if I talk about this particular exam, the entire exam is of 1,000 marks. Out of which, although Cisco has never defined a specific passing criteria, but yes, you have to mark or you have to target to score anywhere higher than 825. to pass the exam. Let's say if a candidate has scored 823, he or she will be considered as failed. So at least 825 is the passing criteria. But don't worry, the way that we will be doing the training here, I guarantee you, you guys will be easily able to score anywhere between 900 to 950 if you follow the training module exactly as I say, right? So it would be very easy for you guys to follow and gain this mark in the exam. Talking about the modules, if you look closer to the module, in front of every module, exam weightage is given. This is very helpful. Why? It tells you that what depth of the topic would be coming in the exam from this particular module. 20 is a very higher weightage. So total questions, Bharat, it completely depends. Like we don't have a specific range. Generally, what happens anywhere, the questions could be anywhere between 60 to 120, anywhere. Like recently, I have given my SD-WAN exam. So in SD-WAN, I got 64 questions in my exam, right? So it completely varies. There's no fixed amount of the questions that would be coming. I hope I'm clear, Bharat.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. One more thing, the validity of the exam certification. Whenever you do these certifications are valid for 3 years. That means in every 3 years, either you need to recertify or you need to go for the another level of the certification. Because after 3 years, your certification will get expired. So you can either retake your exam or you can even use the education credits. Continuing education credits are also the CE credits, they are called as. So you can even use the CE credits that will be provided by Cisco. There are two methods through which we can recertify our exams. So very first module is networking fundamentals. That includes 20% of the exam weightage. After this comes network access. That comprises 20% of the exam weightage again. So Utsav, you can have multiple attempts. There is no limitation of the attempts here. But the thing is that, let's say if you have paid $354 and you failed the exam, your money is gone, right? So you'll have to be very careful while preparing for the exam and try to crack the exam in the very first attempt only. And that can be done easily. Now, so network access has 20%. Then we have IP connectivity that has the highest exam weightage of 25%, which means that whatever questions would be coming, there would be some reflection of routing into it. Most of the questions would be combined in a combined format. Let's say there could be questions which involve routing and switching concepts all together in a single question. That also could be there. So 25% is the highest exam weightage of IP connectivity. Then we have a lesser exam weightage of 10% for IP services. Then 15% of security fundamentals and 10% of automation and programmability. One good thing in CCNA for us is that the syllabus itself tells us that what topic you need to study and at what level you want to study that particular topic. If you look closely here, guys, can you see some terms like explain, describe, configure? This tells us that what we need to learn about the topic. Like in terms of SNMP, you need not to learn how to configure SNMP. Just need to understand the functions of SNMP. How SNMP helps you in network operation, that is the only thing that you want to understand. How syslog feature works, that you want to understand. But in DHCP, you should understand its configuration also. You should know how DHCP is configured, how it is verified. You should also learn how to configure SSH. So remote access, how you can remotely access the devices, you'll have to learn its configuration also. But if we are talking about TFTP or FTP, we just need to understand this functionality. So for every topic, it has clearly mentioned that whether you need to learn its configuration or not. I hope this is clear.
Yes,
What I,
Akash.
right?
Yes,
You guys understood what I'm saying here, right? That we have already clearly mentioned what topic we need to learn till its configuration. What topic do we need to learn just to understand how does it works? So what topic needs to be learned at theoretical level and what topic needs to be learned at theoretical as well as practical level also. That explanation has been given in the syllabus only. So this will be very easy for us to understand and structurize our training module 2. Now, so one question that comes to everyone's mind is that why to go for networking? Like why to learn networking? Guys, networking is basically the foundation of IT. Now, when I say foundation of IT, what do guys means? What does it means by saying foundation of IT? It's a question.
It's a base of
Mhm.
IT from where we can go ahead or we can go forward
Exactly.
into IT.
Exactly. So, like, you can work as a network engineer, you can work as a security analyst, you can work as a cloud engineer. So, this is sort of a career accelerator. CCNA is going to work as a career accelerator for you guys. So, we'll start from very basic zero. And the learning would start from the very first question of ours, which is, what is a network? So, guys, if I talk about one definition from you, each one of you, um, anyone can participate here. So, what do you understand by networking? Let me give you a scenario. Assume that I'm a 12-year-old boy, and I came to you and asking that, Bhaiya, what does exactly networking means? So, how will you explain me what does a network means? What is a network? Yes, Bharat.
It is a collection of one or more devices connected with each other with whatever kind of topology. Um, so as to share resources and communicate with each other.
Okay. Any other definition, guys? I need two
Network
more
is
definitions.
network is a group of connected devices which can communicate with each other. Yeah.
Okay. Group of connected devices which can communicate. Any other definition? Anyone else wants to add any definition to it? Combination of devices connected to multiple devices for communication. Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. So, whatever you guys are defining here, you all have used two specific terms here. One was connection and one was communication. So, yes, these two particular aspects combinedly form up a network. That is true. So, from this particular definition that you guys gave, let me give you a statement that you guys should note down and remember for our studies here. Now, we'll start our studies. So, if I talk about a network, I'll say that network, it is a group of host devices, which are so network is a group of host devices which are connected and are able to communicate. Now, one more question. What do I mean by host device? Can I call PC a host device? Yes or no?
We can't, I would say,
Oh, why so?
because it's a kind of one single host means
Hmm.
what I in general terms,
Hmm.
host means something that is, I mean, taking the charge of other groups or other devices also, right? So it is a kind of central point. That is what I feel.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay.
See, uh, PC can be called as a host device. Means any device in network. Let me tell you some examples, then I'll give you the exact definition. PC is considered as a host device. You can consider your printer as a host device. What about a server? Can I consider server as a host device? Server provides services, but the services are provided to the host devices only, right? So server itself is a host device. So in terms of these particular devices being categorized as host devices, the definition that can be pulled out would be any device in the network, in your network, any particular device that can have an IP address of its own. it is considered as a host device. So in the network, whatever device can have an IP of its own, that will be considered as a host device. And once such devices are connected all together and are able to communicate, that is when we form a network. Which means that if I have two PCs, PC1 connected to PC2, and they are even able to send and receive data, I'll call it as a network. What sort of a network it is? It is a point-to-point
Peer-to-peer.
network, right? Peer-to-peer. Exactly. Now, once condition comes where you need to connect multiple devices altogether, in such cases, you need networking devices. So let's say if I had 4 different PCs and I want to connect all these 4 different PCs altogether. For such scenario, I might need a networking device. You could use a hub, but smartly we use a layer 2 device, which is a switch. So with the help of switches, what we do, we create our LAN networks. So this is how a LAN network can be created with the help of switches. This is an example of a LAN network. And if you want to combine such multiple LAN networks altogether, then what will you use? To connect multiple different LAN networks, we might use a router. So guys, whenever we'll be going through the training session, these are the diagrams that I'll be using for the explanations. I might use a rectangular box written switch as to explain a switch device. I might use a circled plus signed device, which will be representing upper router. And for PCs, I'll be using a diagrams like this. So I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Yes, Akash. So one question here.
Yes, please.
Because I'm very basic to the networking, though I'm working as an manager in firewall
Okay.
program process, right? But I'm not an engineer. They handle the situations, right? But
Understood.
So device, when we are calling here device, right? It would be only PC, or there can be other devices like mobile or any other devices, right? So
Yes,
what would be that? Just
there could be so many devices like here. Can you see? These are all the host devices: PCs, laptops, servers. You can see printers, IP phones, VoIP devices, TV, tablets. All these
okay,
devices will be considered as your host devices only.
okay, got it.
Amazing. Just a second. Now, okay. So I recently asked you one term to explain, which was network. So for network, we have given a specific definition that network is a group of host devices. Host devices are such devices which can obtain their own IP addresses. So once the devices which can have their own IPs, if they are connected all together, and even after this particular connection which is maintained, if they are able to communicate, that is what is called as a network. So my next question would be a grammatical question. So next term that I want you guys to explain is, what is networking then? If network is the group of devices which are connected and able to communicate, what is networking? Try to give a guess.
Could you kindly repeat the question, Akash?
Okay. So first term that I asked everyone was network. What is a network? And the definition that we derived there was that network is a group of host devices where all the devices are connected and they're able to communicate. Now, my next question is, what do we mean by term networking?
Well, networking would mean when we start sharing resources like
Perfect.
data.
Very nice. That's a right answer, Mukesh. So networking is exactly the ability of a network to communicate.
But isn't that the processes and procedures required to achieve
Exactly.
communication?
Yes, that is. And that is true. That is basically what makes your network able to communicate, right? Whether it be processes, whether it be anything. So ultimately, the process word that you used, that can be pointed out to a term which is called as protocol. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Protocols are the capabilities given to the network that helps the network to communicate. And there are a hell lot of protocols available in the environment. Let's say if you wanted to assign automatic IP addresses to devices, we have DHCP for that. If you want the files to be transferred from one device to another device, we have FTP. If you want the names to be translated to the IP addresses, we have DNS, right? So protocols are those particular rules that helps your network to communicate. The ability that a network gets to communicate, that is with the help of the protocols. And the course CCNA 200301 that we are studying here, this is not a course of network. It is a networking course. It is a networking course. That means we will be learning about all sort of different protocols available in the environment. And that is what you have seen in the syllabus also. If you look closely to the syllabus, if I move ahead in the syllabus, right? So what are you learning here? You're looking on to different protocols. Can you see? We're only learning about different sort of protocols everywhere. Everywhere you're learning only about the protocols. Can you see in the syllabus? Yes or no? See, everywhere only the protocols have been mentioned. So ultimately, this entire course is a networking course where we'll be learning about what are the different protocols and what are their services that can be given to the network and how they are configured. I hope this is clear.
Yes, Akash, but one question I had here,
Please go ahead.
ability to communicate, right? So
Mhm.
communicate means within the network or outside also. What is that actually?
Communicate means sending or receiving the traffic.
So within the network, right? Within the devices that are under the network.
Exactly. It could be within the network. It could be outside of your network also.
Okay.
So we'll be learning about the protocols which help you to communicate within the network, outside the network, throughout the network. We'll be learning about
Okay.
all different sort of protocols.
Okay. Thank you. And the last part which you have said, that is what I wanted to know actually. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. So guys, I hope network and networking is clear for everyone. Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. Now, I always love to start with one of the example. So let's assume this is me, Akash, and this is Mukesh. So for my example, Akash only knows Hindi, whereas Mukesh knows Tamil. So guys, you tell me, can Akash and Mukesh communicate with each other if they have different native languages?
No.
No. And what generally we humans do when we have different communication languages, when we have different native languages, what do we humans do in order to communicate? Like, what are we doing presently in this live session? What is the language we are using? English. Right? Because I didn't knew what languages you guys speak, right? You guys never knew which is my native language. So what we did, we standardized the format. What we did, we started with the common language that everyone might be knowing, which is English here. So how does the normal human communication works? Let's say Mukesh wants to say hello to Akash. So hello in Tamil is vanakkam, right? Mukesh will think vanakkam, but while uttering out those particular words from his mouth, he'll translate that vanakkam into English and he'll say hello. I'll hear hello, but as my native language is Hindi, I might translate this hello into Hindi and I'll understand it as namaste. That is how we normal human communicate. Similarly, in the older days, when there was no networking devices in the environment, devices operating with different operating systems. Let's say I have a Windows machine. I have a Linux machine. Devices were not able to communicate. Why? The languages were different. Their communicative standards were different. Might be some devices are generating traffic in ASCII codes. Some are generating traffic in EBCDIC codes. So due to their different communicative standards, they were not able to communicate to each other. And just like we humans have implemented English, there was an organization which is called as ISO. ISO, upon researching over to multiple different models, gave a solution just like we human used English in the networking environment. OSI model was given up as a solution. With the help of OSI model, devices operating with different communicative standards can also communicate to each other. Now, within the OSI has mentioned 7 different layers. And with respect of these particular 7 layers, what OSI said, I don't care what sort of traffic you generate, but I know that in the traffic, whatever traffic you're generating, that particular traffic might be having 7 different aspects of information. You just arrange those particular informations within my 7 layers and forward the traffic. Anyone, any particular operating system, operating device in the environment can easily understand the traffic. So what are those 7 layers? Can anyone name them?
Physical,
Okay.
Data link, network, session,
Mhm. Data link, network. Then you said session.
session,
application layer,
presentation,
Mhm. Application.
Transport,
Yes,
presentation, application, presentation,
trans
session,
It has got 7 layers.
exactly. So we have 7 layers: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. So guys, what is the purpose of application layer?
provide user access interface.
Perfect. So can I say that in application layer, all the protocols which a user requires, they reside in application layer. So application layer is the home for all the user required protocols. What do I mean by user required protocols? Let's say if you want to transfer a file, FTP is the protocol that resides in the application layer. Let's say you want to assign IPs automatically, DHCP, it is the application layer protocol. You want IPs to be translated to names, DNS, it is an application layer protocol. So any particular user required protocol will be available in the application layer. I hope that is clear.
Yep.
Then comes presentation layer. Purpose of presentation layer is to specify or present the data or the traffic in a presentable format to the user so that user can understand that. So ultimately, the entire multimedia resides here. Encryption of traffic, decryption of traffic, you want to encode your traffic, you want to decode your traffic, all those particular protocols which are responsible for these purposes, they stay in the presentation layer. Then comes session layer. Session layer's task is to bifurcate sessions individually between the user and server. So like if I talk about the Facebook servers or let's say Instagram servers, will I only be an individual person who will be accessing the Instagram server at a specific instance of time? No, there would be million of users who will be doing the same thing. So how do these Instagram or Facebook servers identify that Akash's request has to be responded specifically to Akash only? For these purposes, individual sessions are created between the user and the servers. And that particular responsibility is of the session layer. If I talk about these top 3 layers operations, the experts who work as these top 3 layers, they are considered as the application developers, web developers, and software developers. We network engineers start our implementation or servicing from the heart of the OSI, which is called as transport layer, the very important layer. Transport layer is the heart of OSI. It resides in the center. It provides an interaction between the network to the users or the developers. We network engineers start our implementation or our working from this particular layer. Although we do operate at the upper 3 layers also, but our major working starts from this layer. In the transport layer, we have two specific protocols available. One is TCP, other one is UDP. So guys, any knowledge about TCP and UDP, the transport layer protocols?
Yeah, TCP works like with when we send, like when we are sending data,
Mhm.
and UDP works when like we are talking over the voice, and we're doing video calls, so it works with them.
Okay. So can you give me a brief, simple difference between TCP and UDP? Is there any difference between TCP and UDP? Yes or no?
Yes, there's a huge difference. In TCP, like the data is like guaranteed. It sends the data and also verifies the data whether it's reaches the end to end or not. But in UDP, it doesn't do in the same way. Like when we do video calling, or when we do voice calling, so if some data is lost, so we repeat it manually to transfer it again.
Perfect. And you are very correct. Amazing. See, TCP and UDP. This is from where our study starts, guys. So you can start making notes from here. If I talk about TCP, TCP is considered as a connection-oriented protocol. You all must have heard about this term, right? TCP is called as connection-oriented, whereas UDP is considered as connection-less protocol. Let me give you an idea of it. From the upper three layers, which is application, presentation, and session, the traffic is generated. And in the networks, traffic is always assigned with a unit. Just like for distances, we use meters, kilometers. For liquid, we use liters, kiloliters, right? For similarly, these are specifically the units of distance and liquid, right? Similarly, for data or for your traffic, a specific unit is given. That unit is termed as PDU. PDU is considered as protocol data unit. Protocol data unit. So at every layer, traffic has been given assigned a PDU. For the top three layers of the OSI, application, presentation, and session, your traffic is identified as data. So the PDU for top three layers is data. Once this data is sent over to the transport layer, your data is divided into smaller chunks of traffic. And this breakdown into smaller chunks is done with the process of transport layer, which is called as segmentation. The problem is that you cannot send the entire bulk data in a single go. You need to break it down into smaller parts so that it can be easily transferred from one location to a different location. For that purpose, segmentation is a service that breaks down your data into smaller parts so that it can be carried easily. And once you break down your traffic into smaller chunks, these smaller chunks are called as segments, which is the PDU of transport layer. And as we have two specific protocols in transport layer, TCP and UDP, you might identify your segments in two different formats. It could be either TCP segment or it could be a UDP segment. So consider TCP and UDP as two truck drivers who are helping you to shift your luggage from one location to another location whenever you're shifting your house. So you're shifting your house, so that means you're shifting from one location of the globe address to a different location. So to do this particular shifting, you call packers and movers, and packers and movers have sent you two different trucks. One of the truck is TCP. Another truck is UDP. So TCP is considered as a reliable protocol, whereas UDP is considered as an unreliable protocol. So guys, one question. Reliability means trust, yes? Correct me if I'm wrong. The word reliable, what does it mean? You can trust on it, right?
Yes, correct.
So why do in a network where traffic is such a crucial aspect of my network, such a crucial asset of my network, why would I use any particular element which is unreliable? It's a question.
It may have features that the other one does not have.
As in?
I mean, I'm just generally saying.
No, you are correct, but I just want you to explain it a bit more. Try to guess. Why would I use something which is not reliable in my network? Because it will be fast. So the difference between TCP and UDP that makes it reliable and unreliable. Why would anyone use an entity which is unreliable? The answer to it will be because it will always be fast. Talking about TCP and UDP, TCP is a reliable protocol because it gives you acknowledgement. Whereas UDP never gives you acknowledgement. There's no acknowledgement. Acknowledgement means confirmation. Let's say if I have sent out a small, let's say this is chunk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once I've broken down my traffic. So this is first chunk. As soon as my first chunk will be sent out, towards the receiver. I send this chunk to my receiver. I'll be getting a response from a receiver that I've received chunk number 1. So this acknowledgement, this is called as acknowledgement. If you're using TCP, you'll be getting acknowledgement of every single transmission of your traffic. That gives you the reliability of the traffic transmission. Whereas if you're using UDP, UDP will never give you transmission reliability. It will never give you acknowledgement. It will simply transfer the traffic. Let's understand TCP and UDP with one of the example. So let's say, just a second. Let me take Bharat into my example. Bharat, can I use you for my example?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So let's say Bharat is working in an organization and Bharat's shift starts from 9 to 5. That usual shift that we all follow, right? So at a timestamp of 4:30, Bharat's manager came to Bharat and said, Bharat, this is an 80 GB of file and I want you to upload this file to the server, then only you can leave. Bharat has a date on 5:30, but he needs to leave office by 5. At 4:30, he got a task of uploading 80 GB of file to the server. Now, whether Bharat can approach to its particular date at particular time, at appropriate time, it completely depends upon the bandwidth of his network. Let's say if his bandwidth is of 10 Mbps, we know it's going to take time for Bharat to upload the file to the server. Well, let's say if it's his bandwidth is, let's say, 40 Mbps, it might be done quickly, right? But yes, in both of the cases, Bharat is pretty sure that once the upload is done, the file is 100% uploaded to the server. That means the transmission will be done. So this task of transmitting the files, whenever you are sharing your files, you're downloading the file, you're sharing the file, such tasks are carried out with the help of TCP, where you have a short delivery of your traffic. You know that your traffic will be delivered. Let's consider a similar example. We're sitting and watching up a live stream on YouTube. So a streamer is sitting in front of a camera, and this particular camera is telecasting everything into the live streaming platform. Let's say on YouTube. Now, the stream of the streamer went down for a minute and then again came up. So for 1 minute, his network connection got down. Now, guys, you tell me, for this particular time stance where the connectivity was not available with the streamer, will you guys be able to see whatever he was speaking for this 1 minute?
No.
No. But why? But the camera is still recording.
It's lost in between the transit.
Yes. So the concepts or the elements where you are streaming live, your Zoom meetings, your Google meetings, your Teams meeting, right? Voice over IP traffic. All such concepts utilize the protocol UDP for transmission. So what's happening is you're not getting an acknowledgement. It is a faster transmission of traffic every time. UDP is one such example. Let me give you a more real-time example. I guess we started our session today at morning 9, right? Yes, we started in morning 9, correct?
Correct.
Presently, it is 10. That means we have already passed on 1 hour of the session. Now, guys, you tell me one thing. Is it possible for any one of you to explain every particular thing that I started from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m., this entire 1 hour, in a proper same sequence, word to word, exactly the similar way? Will it be possible for any one of you?
No.
No.
But guys, are you able to understand each and everything that I explained in this 1 hour?
Yes.
That is what UDP means. UDP is used for faster transmission of traffic, where deliverance is not of utmost importance, but transmission is of the utmost importance. Whereas TCP is something where deliverance is of the utmost importance. Although time can be adjusted, you can take 1 hour, you can take 2 hours, but data has to be delivered completely. That is what TCP does. Whereas what UDP does the faster transmission of traffic. So I hope TCP and UDP is pretty much clear to everyone in terms of comparison.
Yes, Akash,
Yes.
clear.
Don't worry,
What
we'll
if,
be. Yes, please.
so what if packet get lost in the case of UDP? Like
There
if
won't be any
I
retransmission.
said okay, thank you. What if
Mhm.
okay transferred and thank you is lost?
So there
What
won't be
would
any
be
retransmission.
so like how it will make sure that all the communication or all the information is delivered?
Okay, got your question. See, so the answer to your question would be this: that UDP, in terms of UDP, if we are talking, UDP never recovers the lost packet. Just in my example, the streamer lost his stream for 1 minute, right? So it cannot be regained back. Although yes, streamer can again start speaking about them once he is aware of that particular loss of transmission. But ultimately, UDP is completely connectionless. That is the first term that I mentioned initially, right? UDP is a connectionless protocol. That means it never establishes a reliable connection before sending the data. So you will never have any retransmission. You will never have any acknowledgement. And this is by design. UDP is built for speed and low latency, but not reliability. So this is the case. So impact of the packet loss in UDP will cause video and voice glitches, missing words, frozen frames. Let's say if you're going for online gaming, so lag in the gaming, like sudden characters jump and missing the movements, you must have seen it in online gamings. That is one thing. Streaming in the media, you can have occasional pixelations or even audio dropouts can be there. That is what happens here. So what applications do whenever, let's say, there is a drop in the traffic, they never fix it out. So applications using UDP, they must decide how to handle it. Either they can they can ignore the entire traffic transmission. This is one thing which I explained. They can request for retransmission. If you received a traffic which is not completely complete, so a custom logic in the application is available that helps for the retransmission of the traffic. But that is completely out of our context of the course. We won't be discussing about it. Also, there is something which is called as error correction codes, FEC. This is something of advanced level. So what happens is that we send some extra data so that receiver can reconstruct the lost packet. That is done by FEC. So the answer that you want to hear should be that basically is FEC, where we use error correction codes. So this is completely out of our context of the course. We won't be discussing about this thing. We just have to understand basic difference between TCP and UDP. So guys,
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. So guys, have you got a brief idea of what OSI models transport layer does? It helps to transmit traffic from one location to another location. That is what TCP and UDP do with the help of these two truck drivers, right? Now, one more thing. We do have these two truck drivers. We're transmitting the traffic from one location to another. But whenever we are transmitting the traffic from one location to another, we need the addresses also. If I'm shifting my house luggage, so I need to know to what newer location I need to do it. For that purpose, we humans use our house addresses, right? Similarly, in the networks, if you want to identify specific location of a host device, where does the host device resides in the internet, we used to seek guidance from the next layer down the line in the OSI, which is the network layer. So in the network layer, there's one specific protocol which is called as internet protocol. We have two specific variations of internet protocol, IP version 4 and IP version 6. So just like our house addresses specify our location within the globe, similarly, network layer's IP protocol helps you to understand where does in the internet a network device resides. That means we get the logical addressing from network layer. Now, there could be a possibility that over to a specific location, there could be multiple host devices which are residing. That means over to a specific address, there could be multiple humans who stay at the same house. So how to identify an individual human? How to identify an individual host in the network? For that purpose, we refer to the next layer down the line, which is the data link layer. In the data link layer, the protocol that works here would be MAC address that is formed in frames. So MAC address is used for unique identification of a specific host. So if you want to deliver the traffic to a specific host device, you need to identify its MAC address. Talking about MAC address is a 48-bit entity. which is represented in form of hexadecimals. So you use 12 different hexadecimal digits to represent a MAC address. In your devices, your MAC address can either be identified either like this, or depending upon platform, your MAC address, you can also see your MAC address in form of pairs also. So these are two different ways to denote a MAC address. Okay, one quick question. How can I identify my network devices or my network adapters MAC address in Windows machine, let's say? I'll jump onto the command prompt. And over to my command prompt, I'll use a command IP config / all. What does this command do? Any idea?
I believe this gives all of the addresses which are associated with the host, with the local device.
Exactly. So as presently I'm onto my device Sky L1, right? So over to this device, what all network adapters this device must be having? All the network adapters, whether it be Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, infrared, any particular network device, right? All the adapters information can be seen with this particular command. Let me hit enter here. So you can see presently I have multiple adapters. I have a virtual adapter. If I scroll up, I can see my present Wi-Fi adapter through which I'm connecting. Presently, I'm connected to internet. This is my present Wi-Fi adapter. You can see the physical address here. This is your MAC address. Let me just copy this from here. You can also see IPv4 address is also assigned here. You can see the IPv6 address is assigned here. So all the specific addressing information of your adapters are visible in this particular command. As I was connected with Wi-Fi, so I have copied the physical address of my device. So my MAC address of my device is somewhat visible like this.
This is the MAC address of
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
adapter.
router or from
No,
the.
my Wi-Fi adapter, my Wi-Fi NIC.
Okay.
The host device must be having the NICs, right? NICs are of two types, physical NIC or wireless NIC. So this is the MAC address of my wireless NIC. Now, guys, these MAC addresses do have a hierarchical structure. Hierarchical means a pattern. So you can see the initial 6 hexadecimal digits of my MAC address. They represent the OUI. OUI means organizational unique identifier. And the last 6 hexadecimal digits, they represent the specific host information. So what do you mean by OUI, organizational unique identifier? It represents the manufacturer of your NIC. Who had manufactured your NIC? That can be easily identified by the OUI, initial 6 hexadecimal digits. How can I verify this?
Sorry,
Yes.
Akash, the NIC, can you tell the full form or what does it mean?
NIC is network interface card.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the place from where you connect your LAN adapters or let's say Ethernet cables. If it is a physical NIC, if it is a wireless one, that means it will be an antenna. So that particular wireless NIC must be having an IP address, MAC address also.
Akash, can you show this NIC card on Google, like through images? Like
Sure. Yes, sure.
Because
so
then
wireless NIC looks somewhat like this.
NIC.
This is the wireless NIC.
So guys, like we need to put through USB, and then like
for that we have the wired NIC, where we connect the RJ45 jack like this. This is your wired NIC. Yeah, this one. So when you remember, we in our laptops we connect an Ethernet cable, a LAN cable, to our port so that we can have internet access. So this is that NIC. So it comes in 2 different variations. One could be wired, where you plug in a LAN cable, a Ethernet cable, and the other one is the wired wireless one. So wireless ones do have the antennas to which we connect. So this is your wireless NIC. You can see it here. These adapters basically give you connectivity to your internet or to your network. That is what NIC means.
Okay, thank you.
And guys, one more thing, like today,
These both cards have different MAC addresses and different IPs?
Yes, they will be having different addresses. Yes, Gaurav sir. Gaurav sir, you're saying something?
as per the Cisco curriculum, whatever the Cisco is following, okay?
Probably we have missed you. We have
Sir,
heard
sorry,
only.
we lost your voice. Gaurav sir?
Yeah. Now it's clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so guys, what I'm trying to say, like this is something like it's a demo session today. So we are explaining, might be Akash using some few technical words, which is
Yes.
not for some people it's advanced. So don't consider like we are starting from the advanced itself. Once we're starting from the day one, it's going to be a very, very basic and the Cisco approach, like how Cisco is following.
Exactly. So today what we are doing is we're just understanding what are the things we are going to encounter in the sessions once we start our training session, right? So what I did today, this was just an explanation of the OSI model where we reach on till the data link layer. So I explained you about how exactly our data will be interpreted throughout the layers and how exactly what all things will be encountered in these particular sessions. So starting from day one of our training, we'll start from transport layer back again, where we'll deeply dive into TCP and UDP. We'll understand what TCP is, what UDP is. That will be our first training session. Moving on to the second day of the training session, we'll understand about network layer. We'll see IP addresses. We'll understand about IP addressing. Our entire week will go for network addressing and networking layer, because we'll be understanding about subnetting. We'll understand about how subnets are created, what are VLSM, what is FLSM, how these are networks identify the IP addresses, what is the existence of IP addresses, what are the classes of IP addresses. That will be our second session. Then we'll jump on to the third session where we'll look on for the data link layer. We'll understand about frames. We'll understand about MAC addresses. We'll understand about how a switch understands the frame. That is how our switching study will start. So today's explanation that we did till here was just a demo where we tried to explain every individual term, where I used whiteboard so that you guys can interact. This was just a session to assess how the training has to go, how the things has to go. Yes, Sushil, please.
So when we are going to learn IP, means how to give the IP to someone. What is the side? Something is called cider also, right?
Right.
So how to got the range and how to identify all these things. What is in which topic?
So it will start from day one. From day one, we'll start from TCP and transport layer. Once let me tell you from the syllabus perspective. So if you look here in the syllabus, right, the network fundamentals, it start with the explanation of different devices first of all, then different topologies, then how these topologies are connected with the help of cables. What could be the issues while we are connecting them? That will be a topic, and then we come to TCP UDP, the comparison, right? So this will be our first topic that we are going to do in day one. Once day one is done, then from day two we'll start understanding about IPv4 addressing. We'll understand about V4 addressing. We'll understand about V6 addressing. So that is our day two, from where we'll start submitting and everything.
Okay. Thank you.
So guys, today this was the demo. If anyone have any particular question, feel free to ask your questions, guys. Open up to the questions now. Yes, Utsav.
Will there be recording available or how is it? Say if
Yes.
I miss my class
Yeah,
or something.
guys, every session is recorded. Like the people who already enrolled, they can see the same video in their portal anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Second question actually here. We are doing 2 hours session every day, or what is the timing daily?
It can be 2 or 2.5 hours because it's a weekend. So we can be generally on the weekdays, it's 1 hour on each day. But weekend, we are thinking like at least 5 hours on weekend, like on Saturday, Sunday, including like a 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. How we can in this way we
Uh,
can do.
Yeah, I agree because that way we can probably have a faster progress on the
Yes,
courses,
yes. If
right?
in case it's for 1 hour or it's for 2 hours, it's going to be too lengthy.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, good. It would be probably we can extend it to 3 hours also if
No,
others are
yes,
okay,
yes,
right?
it's totally on your call, guys. Like, if in case you are understanding well, like, we don't rush. Like, if in case if you want, we can extend. We can like for initially we can do it like a 2.5 hours, and then once we have a good pace, be good understanding, we can go ahead 3 hours or 3.5 hours also.
Correct.
Uh, how can we install like this softwares Akash has told, Cisco tracker and other
I'll be
lab?
guiding you guys.
Yeah,
Like
he
after
gonna help you with that. And like there are few people who already enrolled with us for a network engineer master program, which I explained you in the beginning. So if in case you're a part of that, you can access our lab also, where you can see CCNA concept, CCNA, CCNP, and firewalls. For that, you don't need to install anything on your laptop. And let's say example, if you're a CCNA student, you already enrolled for CCNA. If you want to take it our lab, it's hardly a 2,500 rupees. You can take it that also if you don't want to install anything on your own laptop. So why people are generally using my lab or networking lab? The reason is the resources. Example, if in case I have a 8 GB RAM, still I am able to do it CCNA label practical. But I'm talking about CCNP or firewall, I need bare minimum 16 or 32 or 64 GB RAM. In firewall, generally it takes 32 to 64 GB RAM, and that laptop is very expensive. Okay, just to kill that particular issue, like a slowness and all, we have our own labs 24 into 7. You can log into the server, you can start doing the practice. And the plus point is configuration belongs to you. Example, you're using with your credential, whatever configuration you're doing on the devices or on the topology, that belongs to you only. Nobody can touch that.
Hi, my name is Bharat, and I have a couple of questions on the courses.
Yeah, Bharat, tell me.
Let's say practically, being a working professional, if I'm not able to accommodate that 1 or 2 hours over the weekdays, is there something like a recorded course, or let's say if I miss or something, is there something where I can go back and access the recordings and, come back with
Yeah,
questions?
Bharat, everything is recorded. Like a, if in case you paid for this course,
Mhm.
you have access to join a live session. Live session, why live session? Let's say example, there are a few people who joining from US or different countries. Okay, from US, UK. So if some days they are not able to join, they can go ahead, they can watch the videos and they can note it down all the doubts, and they can come whenever they have a time, and they can join a live session, and you can ask the questions also.
But I believe this session is on weekend only, right? Are we conducting the session on weekday?
We have a multiple batches on weekdays. Yesterday I started with the Hindi batch, and on 17th August we have an English batch. On weekdays, English, and 9 p.m. the time.
Okay, no, got it. But I'm talking about this particular batch, which is
It is
being
on the
conducted
weekend.
by Akash sir,
It
right?
is on the
So it is
weekend.
on the weekend only, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's the plus point for this batch is like a Akash is a Cisco certified trainer. Like there are few people like they say like I'm a CCNA certified. He's not. He's also CCNA certified. He's also CCNP certified. Even one more advanced certification is Cisco certified trainer. Very few people in the world who is Cisco certified trainer.
Okay, got
Okay,
it.
so
So,
that's the plus point.
so becoming a trainer, is there any kind of eligibility or extra courses or extra exams you need to give, or?
Akash, can you elaborate like how
Sure,
you
sure.
become
I'll do.
this Cisco certified trainer?
So basically, this certification is identified as CCSI, Cisco Certified System Instructors. So it's a hardcore 4 days exam where a Cisco's proctor sits with you. He assesses you in terms of whether you are a eligible trainer or not. So we go through these particular exams where we'll have to explain topics in different scenarios. We'll have to the proctor gives us scenarios 5 minutes prior to the exam, and then we'll have to explain that particular concept to the client. We are given a real-time environment, and that particular environment has to be explained to the client. So Cisco used to assess us for entire 4 days, and once we are done with that, we get certified as a CCSI. And once you are a CCSI, you get authorized training deliveries, and you start delivering courses for Cisco, and you help clients as a consultant too. So that is what we do.
Okay, thank you. Got it now.
Yes.
That is Cisco certified system
Instructor.
instructor. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any Hindi session on weekend available?
No. On the weekend, generally people are joining from outside India. So weekend session is only in English. On weekdays, but also we have a Hindi session.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you guys. Thanks for the session. Thanks, Akash. And from next weekend, we have a proper classes. So make sure ask my team if you already enrolled to add the courses in your portal from next on like a weekend onward. You need to join from the portal itself.
So next class will be like not tomorrow. It
So
will be
tomorrow
next
there
week.
is no sessions. On next Saturday, Sunday we have a class 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.